So for those who are stumbling upon our channel for the first time in this video, or people who just haven't watched our videos in a while, we recently just purchased a new office space for the YouTube channel, and we've been recording a ton of our videos there, and a lot of them are to come very soon. So if you aren't subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notifications as well to be notified whenever those videos do come out, because YouTube sometimes, well, just doesn't want to tell you all about our new videos. But as you can tell, I am not in that office. I am in my normal bedroom setup, and there is a reason for that. Today we're going to be taking a look at my personal rig, which I actually made a video on a few months ago when I did my sticker bomb PC mod, which if you haven't seen that, hit the I in the top right corner to check that video out. But in that video, I mainly focused on taking my case, which is the NZXT H500, and doing a custom sticker bomb mod. And I really didn't talk a lot about specs or even show any performance numbers of the system, because the main focus of that video was, well, the sticker bomb mod. After that PC was put together, I felt like I needed a few upgrades to the system, because of one, my workflow demands were improving, and two, I really wanted to make this thing look really pretty, and a couple of companies, Deep Cool and Crucial, were nice enough to help me out with this upgrade. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the finished product. This is my $1,400 gaming/editing workstation, or estimated $1,400 in normal day prices. But how about we get into the details after a word from today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by GVGMall. They're a really awesome website that allows you to get access to Windows 10 keys and even Office 2016 and 2017 keys for you students out there at a very discounted rate compared to buying it straight from Microsoft. Buying keys and licenses from GVGMall is very simple. Click the link in the description down below to head to either buy a Windows 10 key or an Office key, and once you purchase the key, you will be sent the key within a few moments, and then all you have to do is throw it into your given program. For example, if you're using Windows 10, just throw it into your Windows 10 machine that needs to be activated, and boom, you're running a fully activated version of Windows or whatever software you decide to license. GVGMall has been nice enough to hook us up with a discount code. So if you use code TB20, you can save 20% on whatever you use on GVGMall.com. So be sure to check the link in the description down below, and special thanks again to GVGMall for sponsoring today's video. Now yes, this is a $1,400 gaming PC/editing PC, which you could probably get for way cheaper nowadays if you do buy used parts or go with some different alternatives. But let's talk about my journey into what this PC became and exactly why I've chose the parts that I've selected, and let's start with the processor. Now the processor in this system is the Ryzen 7 1700, and it has been that way ever since we received our reviewer's kit from AMD back when first gen Ryzen came out. The Ryzen 7 1700 has been a really powerful CPU for my workflow needs, and honestly, besides the first gen complaints that come with the motherboard, which I'll explain later, I've been very satisfied with the 8 cores and 16 threads at what now costs only $160 on the new market, and really I've had no desire to upgrade. Now let's talk about first gen Ryzen real quick, more specifically motherboards, because I have had a load of headaches with first gen Ryzen when it comes to support for memory and also just motherboards just being honestly pretty freaking bad. The motherboard that I used to have in this system was an MSI X370 Gaming Titanium, which if you are a member of our Discord server, if you're not already, check the link in the description down below, have heard me complain and moan at late times at the night over my PC just not working because of that motherboard. And to this day, I really don't know why that motherboard was such a pain because of its price point of over $200 when it initially released, making it the most expensive X370 motherboard that you could buy at the time of first gen Ryzen's release. But I went ahead and swapped that motherboard because I was tired of its issues for an Asus Prime X370 motherboard and haven't really looked back since. This motherboard actually allows me to use the memory that I got sent from Crucial, which the MSI X370 Gaming Titanium would only allow me to have a maximum of 3 DIMMs of memory, and if I put in a 4th, it wouldn't even post. Now the Asus motherboard does not come without its flaws. There's still some random slow boot times that I've heard from across a lot of people with first gen Ryzen stuff is kind of common. Jackson's system actually does this as well, where it just sometimes takes forever to boot up. But overall, the system is, well, working now, and it actually allows me to use the beautiful Crucial's ballistics tracer memory that we got sent over from them, 32 gigabytes of it. So let's talk about that real quick. Crucial was so nice to send over a 32 gigabyte kit, 4 8GB sticks of their Crucial ballistics tracer memory, which looks really awesome. And honestly, look at this stuff. It looks really freaking good inside my case. The lighting isn't the brightest on the memory. I really do enjoy the RGB flare, which if you can see from my PCB roll, the memory doesn't really stand out as much as some of the other lights in my case, but it's subtle enough for people who want to use like a static color profile and really not have it pop out and be very annoying in other PC builds. And the memory itself performs very well, locking in at 3000 megahertz with an easy XMP profile within first gen Ryzen, which is definitely not an easy task, by the way, because memory support for Ryzen is very difficult sometimes, but without any issues whatsoever, runs on an XMP profile at 3000 megahertz, and I've had no crashes because of the memory. So Crucial, you got yourself some really good memory, and honestly, if you're interested in them, check the link in the description down below. I highly recommend this kit, but be ready to spend a little bit of money because it is very premium and expensive DDR4 memory, and well, DDR4 prices really aren't helping us anyways, so. Now let's talk about the graphics card, which is a GTX 1080. Now this GTX 1080 has a very interesting story behind it because I actually purchased it during the first cryptocurrency mining craze around Ethereum when the RX 470s and 480s are being sold on eBay for like $300 and people were buying the crap out of them because of their ability to mine Ethereum the most efficiently. And at the time, I had an RX 480 4GB in my system, which I went ahead and sold on eBay for $300 after only paying $150 for it a few months ago, and then put that money towards a GTX 1080. So in theory, I got a GTX 1080 for about $200 of an upgrade. So it was a definitely worthwhile upgrade, and I got a free copy of Destiny 2. The 1080 has been more than enough power for me. I've gone through different monitor setups from 3440 by 1440 ultra wide at 100 Hz, and even testing now at just 1440p 144 Hz, and it's been plenty of power for me. As you can see on screen right here with some of the benchmarks that I ran using this system, it works. One thing to note is the games that I'm benchmarking are actually games that I play. I do not play a lot of games anymore. As you can tell with the games that I do play, which are basic battle royale style games and some multiplayer games like Black Ops 4, I'm getting well over 100 FPS in most titles, with games like Black Ops 4 kind of dipping below 100 in certain games like Nuketown, which is very high density and it does tend to happen. But overall, I am very happy with this system, and just lowering some of the settings here or there for gaming performance, it does perfectly fine. But because I'm a YouTuber, I mainly use my PC for video editing, and now that I have an office PC at the actual office, which if you haven't seen that 10-core CPU video, hit the eye in the top right corner, I don't have to do as much work on here as I need to because I do have the office, but sometimes a man just doesn't want to leave his room. He wakes up and just wants to edit a video and not have to go to an office and, you know, deal with Jackson, you know? I mean, who really wants to do that? But this system with its 8 cores, 16 threads, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 1080, it's super fluid. My workflow is honestly perfected at this point. The system overall in video editing applications and running a Cinebench score, well, performs very flawlessly. I do have the Ryzen 7 1700 overclocked to 3.7 gigahertz because my CPU honestly doesn't get much higher than that, and there's kind of a point of diminishing return where really not going to get that much performance, and 3.7 has been rock solid for me with that 3000 megahertz memory that I've just had no desire to boost it up to 3.8, 3.9, or maybe even 4 gigahertz. Now, I was originally going to be making this video with just Crucial as being the main supporter, but recently, Deepcool at CES announced their Captain 240 Pro, which is their all-in-one liquid cooler that is designed to be leak-proof. Basically, it's designed to be much more sturdy for leaks and other things that can happen with an AIO that makes people a little bit weary about upgrading. And in my original video that I made about my PC, I did mention that this is my main workstation PC, and I really didn't want anything to happen to it, so I had a Deepcool Gamax 400 air cooler on there, and it was working perfectly fine around 70 degrees Celsius on max load. But when Deepcool basically said, "Hey Matt, we're sending this your way, I think you could find a use case for it," I was like, well, I think it's probably time that I upgrade this system with an AIO because, well, we got all this performance in there, might as well put a liquid cooler on it to make it look even better. Plus, RGB, and this cooler does not disappoint. Fans that come with this cooler are really awesome. They blend in with the default RGB fans that I have in the case now, and it looks really, really good inside this case. The NZXT H500 only supports a 240mm radiator on the front of the case, which is kind of limiting, but it does perform really well in this system. 9 to 64 running for 30 minutes. We only capped out about 63, 64 degrees Celsius, depending on what's going on in the room, and that's a big upgrade over my tower cooler that I was using, which was getting well above 78, 79, sometimes 76 degrees Celsius when being stress tested very significantly. So this is definitely not the best case scenario for this cooler. In a system that has better airflow, you'll actually get much better results, but with the RGB functionality, the really cool CPU block from Deepcool, I am very happy to have this thing in my personal rig, and I give a big thanks to Deepcool for sending it over. And also, if you're interested in that, check the link in the description down below. But to overall wrap up this system, in terms of storage, I have a 240GB boot SSD and also a 1TB hard drive, which I do plan on making some storage upgrades in the future, which really don't warrant a video, but you know, just something I want to mention. And overall, I am very happy with this PC. I've had a lot of PCs before on this channel, from an i7 2600 PC to an i7 5820K PC, and now I ended up with this because of you guys for watching my video, all the way up to a Ryzen 7 1700 and a GTX 1080 PC, which by no means is the latest and greatest, but is a system that I am very proud of. And this thing right here is a creation of my creativity, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys that this is a very capable YouTube/gaming workstation PC. And that about wraps this video up here, guys. If you like this video, leave a like down below and comment RGB in the comment section down below if you made it this far. I would love to know what you think of this PC. Do you think it's a vomit of RGB, or do you think it actually looks really freaking cool? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Regardless, links in the description down below if you want to purchase any of the parts used in this build, and also let me know what your personal rig is. I'm very interested to hear the specs that you are rocking and how it compares to my PC. Thank you guys again, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Peace.